Hello?
Thank you for calling me back.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
I'm not going to be able to pay rent for today. I know it's due today, but something happened and I'm not going to be able to pay.
You either pay it or you don't. The reason why you don't pay it isn't really relevant.
Medical happened, like
Maybe it's relevant to you, but it's not relevant to me. I don't care. I either got paid or I don't.
I know it's due today. I'm trying to come to some type of understanding, some middle ground.
No, it's not how it works. You pay on the date that it's due. There is no middle ground. It's due today. That's the agreement.
I was hoping you could at least have some human decency. And
yeah, I'm not Section 8. This isn't a charity.
I don't give a fuck if it's Section 8 or not. Didn't say I wasn't going to pay today, though, right?
That's what it sounded like.
Can I at least have until maybe 2 weeks to pay it, and then I'll be caught up by next month? So
yeah, no, I get it. So I don't really care what you got to do. What I'm going to do is just send your notice to quit and start the eviction today.
I don't got to pay you stay in the house.
All right. Good luck with that. Bye.
You pay, you stay. You don't, you won't. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. That was the very first lesson that I learned when I first got into this business many years ago. And some of you might think that's harsh. You might think that, like the lady was saying, hey, she has a situation which is probably real and valid, but the landlord does as well. It's not their problem and they want their rent. Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Robert. And on this channel, our goal is to simplify the home loan process. If you don't mind, take a few seconds, hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so that when we bring content like this to the channel, you'll be notified. I thank you in advance, and it really helps the channel. Now, here's the deal, guys. These stories all start with rent sounding safe. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you know, you think you have a long runway horizon, and it's somewhat long, but when you're not doing the right things, that time tends to sneak up on you, and it can end in a stressful situation, meaning you find yourself 40 plus, you don't have any retirement, you don't have any type of investments, and all of that rent money that you've been paying for decades, the question is, was it really worth it? Right? So today I want you to watch these renters and what some of the things that they're going through and some of the things that they're saying that they don't like, so that you can learn why owning, even if it's a modest home, something that you can afford, is your safest bet for your future self. Let's check it out.
I absolutely despise renting. Renting is my worst enemy, especially as a parent, because we have quarterly inspections. And what that means is they come to my house and they take photos of every single room. Every single room, okay? And if you're a parent, you know how dirty a house can get. And I wait from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. At any point during that day, and during that time, they could come. The anxiety and the stress I feel every single time that happens, I just want to buy a house already. Like, I just want my own home.
Now, there's nothing like saying you're not an adult if someone can just pop up at any time to check out your home. All joking aside, think about the inconvenience, be it you're a very clean type person, or if, you know, you got kids and your house is in disarray. The point is this: you don't feel like you're independent. And just think about the time. They say they're coming once a quarter, and you are beholden to, you know, not doing what you need to do potentially so that they could come in and do an inspection. And so this isn't a reason just for you to say, hey, I want to run out and buy a home, because on this channel, we always talk about responsible ownership or responsible financial literacy. We just don't do things to do them. But if you are able and you can afford to do so, then by all means, you wouldn't want something like this happening. I could only imagine just living at home with my parents after you've become married with kids. If you have to and you have the ability to, it's a blessing, but do you really want to? That aside, that's family. You got a stranger coming through. So just keep these things in mind. Again, the theme is this: things seem peachy keen when you really don't want to deal with the accountability. In my respectful opinion, that's what's really going on. They're selling a dream of, hey, someone else is taking care of it. But just take your rent, multiply it times 12, and whatever that number is, you're giving that away to someone every year. And I can hear those of you out here now, well, this person said this and this person said that about you. Your home is not an asset, and you're spending all this money to maintain it and things of that nature. Tell me what in life that's worth having that you don't maintain. Hopefully you're maintaining your body, your mind. Things take maintenance. And again, this is not a FOMO session to make you feel like you're missing out. But again, if you can afford it and you just think that I'm not going to buy because it's easier, what I would challenge you to do or to think about is this. Are you really investing that extra money that you're supposedly saving by not taking care of a home of your own while you're paying down a forced savings account? Are you really putting that in a place for it to grow for your future self? If not, 20 years could go by quickly. Let's say 28, what is that? 28, 38, 48, 50, you're 50, you could have something paid off. And again, it doesn't have to be a McMansion. I think that's another place that people are missing. And so I don't want to ramble, but I do want to state the case that this isn't something that we're trying to make you go buy. That's not what this is about. This is to get you to think. And if you're not doing those other things and investing, or you don't have the bandwidth to invest, you strongly need to consider buying something that you can afford, not that you want, so that you don't have inconveniences like this, but more importantly, you have something for your future self. Let's continue.
I got home last week, and as I was walking down the hall, I saw all these letters on everybody's door. And I was like, oh, y'all finna throw a pizza party down in Lisa's office? That's cute. I can't come. And I got home and realized that was not a pizza party invitation. It was a letter saying we going up on y'all rent by $145. For all of you rich and wealthy, fabulous people out there, I know you didn't bat an eye at that, but for some of us who have prayed the prayer of deliverance for brokenness off of our lives, we are believing the Lord to help us through this land of prosperity that you guys, in the comments probably have arrived at way before me. But I had a little panic set in because the place that I moved into with my husband and 4 kids, we had just moved into in April. It's only July. And I'm like, dang, y'all went up on my rent in 2 months. I just got here. On top of the fact that the rent we're at now was a faith move because that was double the place that I was before this. So I'm like, Lord, this is a lot of faith you asking me to have, just up front. On here with the best of them and do little sermonettes and Bible studies and fuss at y'all about stuff. But I don't think we do this enough, where we get on here and get really vulnerable and transparent about the things in our life that we are still fighting to believe. Side note, I tried to curl my hair, child, and I ended up with a 1996 Laura Winslow mama, Mrs. Winslow do. So just please, just have a little mercy and grace on me, okay? So anyway, I prayed about it, and I was like, okay, let me do the mature Christian thing to do. I'm going to pray. And I was like, hey, you already know why I'm hitting you up, but I'm just going to tell you, you see this letter? Yeah, what's up? You know what? God, I know what you want me to do. You want me to go down to the office and give him an old cat branchman. Oh, come here. Let me talk to the manager, okay? You want me to upload my lease into ChatGPT, tell it to give me some talking points on why this is not only illegal, but just like, what's the word? Like not fair. The word is escaping my mind right now. But, it's not cool. It's not cool. And I'm not paying this. And the Lord was like, nope, I'm going to send you the extra money and you're just going to pay your rent. You're not even going to complain about it because it's not a lot of money. You'll be fine. And I was like, what? See, here's the thing about praying stuff. Sometimes you be asking for stuff and then the Lord do it. And then you don't realize that the things that have sustained you, your character traits. Me, I am a Justice League fighter, okay? I have pretended to be my own lawyer. I have pretended to be managers of companies. I've done a lot of things, okay? Because I don't like when justice is not served. And the Lord was like, yeah, that's cool. But that's what broke mentality Catherine did, because she didn't believe she could have the extra money in her budget. She believed that at any time she could lose it all. And you don't operate from that anymore because you've been delivered from that. So abundance Catherine, okay, $1 million business Catherine, okay, you like to pray those things on your little board there. She wouldn't bat an eye at $150. She would pay it. And that's what you're going to do. Have a blessed day. And I was like,
So the real Lord finally told you to pay your bills. Man, the way God's name and the Lord's name is used in vain is crazy to me. Some of y'all need the 2 Timothy 2:15 and 16. Study to show yourself approved unto God. But I digress. We're talking about rent. Here's the deal. The rent went up just a couple of months after them being there. And as you can see, this is an older person, and this is in keeping with the theme with this video. I've spoken to several people this week alone, and to a person, they're over 40 and they don't have any retirement or anything of that nature saved. And had they purchased a home years ago, even a modest one, they would at least have that in their basket to potentially plan for their future self, the 65 plus older self. Because if God tarries, if Jesus, as they call him, tarries, then you will get older if you don't pass on. So respectfully, think about these things so you don't have to vision board and all this kind of stuff. Because as she said, at the end of the day, the real God gives us instructions. He says, work 6 days. You got 6 days to do all your work. The seventh is the Sabbath rest, right? And so if a man doesn't work, that's in Proverbs, he shouldn't eat. More importantly, you shouldn't step out on faith to pay for things that you don't have the money to. What you should do is step into your budget, look back 3 months and see if your statements say that you can do what it is that you need to do. Therefore, you won't have any FOMO, fear of missing out, nor will you have, well, not FOMO, I digress. You won't have any regrets about reaching further out than you need to, be it renting, buying, or what have you. And so let me get off of that. As you can see, that's a tender spot with me. We don't need to use the Lord's name in vain. But anywho, the point is this, guys. Look at these examples and examine yourself and be honest with yourself and say, you know what, if I'm going to rent, am I taking care of my future self? That's all Rob, the old man, is trying to say to you from the heart, mi corazón, really and truly, because I see a lot of folks, and it's a little disheartening when you see people later in life inevitably say with their facial expressions or their tone in their voice, man, I wasted a lot of time. So now, if you are older, here's the deal. If you're still living, a living dog is better than a dead lion, as my elder would say. But it's time to take a stock evaluation. So if it's home ownership, residential real estate, you want to reach out to that lender that you know, like, and trust. If it's us, we would love to have a conversation to see if we're a fit. The contact information is pinned in the top comment or in the description below. We can have a conversation and see where you really are, because once you have the information, the knowledge about your specific situation, that empowers you to go out and then make decisions not based on what you feel like, but on fact. So with that, you guys have a great day. Enjoy your families. Be good to one another. Let grace abound. And until the next time, y'all. Indeed.